Hello. Just a spoonful of medicine. Actually, it's not that, is it? It's just a spoonful of sugar, you stupid boy. I was just waiting for the missus to come out now. So I just started it. Had the slackest tea ever tonight. The slackest tea ever. Because we just had the floor final coating and we can't walk on it till tomorrow. But I'm hoping my mate will come round and help me put the kitchen together on Sunday. Maybe. He hasn't got back to me yet. But tonight's dinner was a nice healthy grain bun, bit of sauce, and fish fingers. Can you believe it? Can't remember the last time I had fish fingers. And one would ask, do fish really have fingers? Apparently. Well, you can't hear me. Okay. This is when I need the missus here, because I don't know. Plug my ears in the thing. How do I message on this damn thing? Don't know. If you can't hear me, just raise your hand. I think I've got everything right here. It's nothing like having your bits plugged in. You're a lucky woman. Still warm here. And the threat thunderstorms and nothing again. Unbelievable. Just a slight easterly here. Supposed to get next couple of days thunderstorms, but I don't believe them. They're fibbing. I don't know what it is now. It's about 28, 29, so it's not too bad. But the last layer of polyurethane went on today, so we can walk on it tomorrow. Be right back. Righto. I will sit patiently on the rock halfway up the mountain. Yep. Mel has been here, but she's now be right back.
What?
Mel was here, but it's be right back. Here comes the missus up the ladder and the step. She does, doesn't she? No, she's a little like Mrs. Claus.
Mrs. Claus? I know Mrs. Claus.
All dressed in red.
Oh,
Santa's
yeah.
little helper.
I still wear me Christmas jammies any time of the year.
Hello, Johnny P. Legend in many people's lunchtime. They probably carve JP's image into Mount Rushmore one day. And women, generally in their 50s or 60s, will make it a pilgrimage. They won't look at Lincoln or Adams, but at the very end of your new carving of JP, there'll be flowers left underneath the cliff face. Yeah. Nice one, mate. That's good to hear. Good stuff.
kisses for JP. And here's a few extra for Mel.
So I'm probably going to start on this window tomorrow. Behind me.
So even though they're saying that they haven't sanded it, done
Well,
this.
it's the best time to do it, isn't it? Before they do that. Just look,
What do you have to do to it?
this window.
Oh, I'm looking there.
But we will go down and get another tin because I use probably half or more and half on those skirting boards. At the other one would be enough then to do this in and out.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, well, I think I just would like that same colour, but I'll leave it up to you.
It's not furniture grade timber. I'm trying to explain to you. That is, so is the other window. But this isn't, this is structural timber.
Yeah?
So you'd sand it back, it'd be all different shades. You'd never get a finish on it. You see how this one over here?
Yeah,
I shall point for the audience. See this one over here?
I get it all.
How it has an even tone. If I did the same to this window, it's not furniture grade, it is structural grade.
Well, that's great.
I'm trying to explain to you, if I did it, it would look like crap. I mean, I don't know how else to say it to you.
Okay, all right.
But you're going, oh no, do it anyway. And I'm thinking, no, it will look like crap.
Well,
Seriously, guys, what can I, I'll write it down.
hey. You do it however you want.
I'm doing it how is practicable. It will be not that white, it'll be like the white on the skirting. Yeah, we're probably going to finish at the same time. I've got to walk around by the builder on Friday, and he's got a shitload to do still. I'm going to let him walk around and say, what do you reckon? I say, well, you tell me. And he'll say it again, well, what do you reckon about this? I say, you tell me. And then when he's done his list, I'll say, here's my list. Enjoy. He came here tonight, JP. I think I told you guys a story about how he drives a forklift. He damaged one of our windows. He backed into our fence. He's lifted one of our air conditioners off the ground, etc. And he says today, oh yeah, I'll be doing the trimming in the Bobcat. I said, you are not driving a Bobcat on my property. And he said, yeah, it's my prerogative. I said, well, you can have all the prerogatives you like. This is my place. You are not going to be behind the wheel of a Bobcat. And he went on for a bit and then talking about something else, and he came back and said, you see, oh, yeah, I'll honour that. I'll get someone else to do it. I said, there's no honouring involved. You are never going to be allowed back on my property with a Bobcat. It would cost you too much. He didn't like it, but trimming is going around the house, getting the levels like you were talking about, taking all the rubbish out, filling in the stormwater drain, picking up all the rubbish. I think the guide dog would drive better. He's just hopeless. He's a cowboy, you know what I mean by that. He just jumps in.
No, that's it round there with the what's name lights come on up.
If you like.
Right, not
Yeah.
now. They can't walk through and turn lights on.
Mm-mm.
Exciting tomorrow, we can walk around in socks.
I was watching him squirm, JP, saying, yeah, it's my prerogative. I'm the builder and I will be driving a Bobcat. I said, you ain't driving a Bobcat on my property ever again. You got better chance of getting a job at NASA to be an astronaut, because it's not happening. He's all huffing and puffing. Well, I'm the builder. I said, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Bob the fucking builder. You ain't driving a Bobcat on my property again. Yeah, he's got to replace panels. He backed into it. He tried to do a fancy 360 in about 10-foot driveway, you know, spinning around. And he hit it, and then one of the labourers was here at the time. And we were out the front watching him, weren't we? And I didn't say anything first couple of days, and the labourer's like a 45-year-old bloke, does everything, you know what I mean, trims and all that. And I said to him, did you realise he backed into the fence? He said, oh, he does now. Because I told him, he said. But did he say anything to us for 3 months? I let it go, didn't we?
No, it wasn't.
Nothing. Then because he's flying around with a bobcat, I had my windows, all three of these old ones, up against the old shed, clearly saying, stay away from them, don't go near them. Kookaburras are saying goodnight. But he's digging and windrow, and he pushed a windrow right up to the window, and we heard it go crack. So I don't want him on property. He's not coming here. Welcome back, Mel. Can you tell?
Can I tell that Mel said that you
Yes.
are a giant cutie?
Am I a giant cutie? I reckon you said something else, Mel, didn't you? You didn't you? Well, you probably get one less prawn on your plate now for that as punishment. It'll only leave about 18. Look, Jono, he doesn't have a choice. He will be fixing it. The window will cost him something like 600. The fence will be about, I don't know, panel, capping, probably about 300. Like,
He's got builder's insurance.
yeah, he's just hopeless.
The window, I reckon, is going to cost him more.
I'm guessing 600 to 800.
That, I just don't know how that's going to go. They're not going to replace it with the same glass, you know that.
I said to him today, you are replacing it. I don't care if it's a little bit thicker, but you're replacing it with the lead line. It will match what was there.
I've got a piece in the
Or
shed.
don't bother, and I'll get someone to do it.
I've got a piece in the shed.
Well, they won't use that because that would be fatigued because it's been bent.
They won't.
They'll put a new, similar.
Yes, JP did it, Mel.
Do what?
She's joking. She said, did you leave a mess, JP?
Yep. He's hardly been on site. He's one of these project managers, if you like, JP. Obviously a chippy in his time and a builder. But he just wants to do things in his own time, you know what I mean? So I've made it very clear to him. I said, there's a final payment coming up. It's subject to you. Because he comes up and he always says, oh, we've won awards. And he said it today. I said, well, that's excellent. Because you're a boutique builder, apparently, and I expect a boutique finish. The guy that was laying the finish today also does bits of trims when he finishes. And he said to me, I couldn't put the trims on. He said the walls are not square as far as the returns to the windows and things like that. And I said, I know, I told you. So if he thinks he's just going to come here and do a quick finish over, I've told him, I've warned him now, I said, I am getting a building inspector. And he said, oh, what I'll do is I'll get the list that I'm doing and you can show it to him. I said, no, the building inspector will come here cold, look through the structural, look at all the codes, make sure they're followed, and your workmanship. He said, oh, the list would help him. I said, no, the list would indicate what you're going to do. I want the building inspector, because you get a certificate from a building inspector. Covers you in many ways. Because when I first mentioned it to him about 5 months ago, he said, oh, you don't need a building inspector. I said, well, that's my prerogative, not yours. Hello, Buttercup.
It's pretty obvious. The last 2 months, everything has slowed down. The last 2 months, really, when you think about it.
Oh, next to nothing. Oh, we've done it all in the last 2 months.
I mean, it's only March, but I don't even know. Where are we? What month are we in?
It's February.
Well, the last 2 months, I know we had Christmas. I realise that. But the other thing, it's pretty obvious that they were too busy concentrating on whatever houses they were putting in for awards and finishing them.
That's okay. We're patient. We're not in a rush. I hear what you say, JP. There are codes that a building inspector will bring out. First thing a building inspector ever brings out on the site is a measuring tape. That's the first thing he does. So that will be taken care of. Things like structural, widths, heights, etc. And then it goes down to aesthetic finishes. Is it compliant to building codes? Because the guy that's coming out to do the building inspector is a master builder. He no longer builds, obviously, but his job is to be a building inspector now.
Yeah, there's a few issues that the builder did, Buttercup. He broke a panel on our fence he has to replace. He broke one of our windows. And what else did he do?
Well, lifted the air conditioner.
Well, the air conditioner is an easy fix. So I want to change how that sits anyway. But the point is he did it because he wasn't careful with his bobcat.
It'll get done. I'm not worried. The finish will be to the standard that we want. Just, make it good. Yep. Like I say, he was pushing dirt and a windrow. And with the windrow, there's pressure not only on surface but below. It's like a wave.
Yeah, he moved it, so it has to be repositioned. But
I've already told him, Buttercup, final payment is subject to my final satisfaction. And I'm not a meanie. I just want the job that I paid for to be done.
I mean, you've got to realise how much money that we've forked out, and we've paid it as soon as the bill has come in. We didn't make them wait even an hour after the bill, because they would hand drop the bill to us. So it went straight on the computer and paid that bill there and then.
Yeah, no, we agreed to about 8 payment system at certain levels, plate height, etc., roof. So there's no problem with what we wanted to pay, and when we got what we wanted, we paid it. You should say over jump char. Then say, there is not going to be an issue. Look, he will follow codes. If he's breached any codes, he'll fix that. He has no option. A building inspector in any state has the law to say to a builder, this is what you have to fix. And there isn't like an if or a maybe. It's a definite. All the things. You and your bloody yum shark. Come here and have some honey prawns, my home stir-fried rice, a dessert to make your mouth water, some nice glasses, probably a little bit of champers. Yeah. Don't have to char it all the time. Yeah, he did, like I say, JP, a walk around is what a builder and a customer do together. And you say, yeah, I want that cleaned, I want that fixed. That is just written down, and he does it. The things like the decking out the back, there's quite a few of the screws not rebated correctly. Otherwise, some are just sitting on the surface, which is no good if you're going to sand. So I said that will all need to be fixed. But I'll walk around with him on Friday and make a list, and he'll give me a copy of the list. And that means he is agreeing to do those things that we walk around and say, well, this needs to be done. But a building inspector is different. A building inspector can say to me, don't pay the last payment, mate, just wait.
I mean, I don't know whose idea it was, but I absolutely love the little shelf I don't know if you've shown the little shelf on the inside of the windows.
It's just, it's just
I
a
know,
shelf.
but they're little things that I like. And we didn't ask for that, but I don't know who decided that was Khan or...
No, I asked for them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, in the building originally.
Well, anyway,
It's just a windowsill, and I gave them the width I wanted and all that, so...
I'm going to move down there. It's too dark for me to get there.
Apparently, we're moving location. We're moving from this undisclosed location
To another. Yeah, well, I have to sit down
to another undisclosed location, and to make sure that we're safe, I'm going to close everything up. See? Can they see?
the fan in case it rains.
Oh, you're right there. She's like a site foreman. Over there. Is it? Wait, before you go, is that okay?
Yeah.
No, you sure?
Yeah. Yep.
And what else?
Bring those trees.
All right. As long as you're happy, dear.
Oh,
That's the main thing. There she is walking off into the distance.
Do you want a hand down?
I'm all right, dear. Oh, yeah, old fella just made it. Yeah. That was lucky. What? What are you asking? What's the question?
Can we move it or do you want it?
I don't care. Is it okay?
I suppose.
Actually put the legs off the edge. A bit stable. So you've probably been pushed and pulled all over the place, people. I do apologise for that. Breaking transmission. Now we're at another undisclosed location. Oh. There we go. What about that?
Oh, you can have.
Hello?
You can have yum cha, Mel.
Very grainy tonight.
It is. Yeah, slap.
What?
Mel said slap. Want an air
Why
one?
slap me? I've been domestically abused, Mel.
Oh, for God's sake.
And you are basically standing on the shoulders of the perpetrator. Hello, Carolyn. It is a nice night, actually, Mel, isn't it? I got the champagne bottle. You can come around and put your feet in the sand like we are. Step? Okay.
Oh, step. I thought you said slap. I have to walk all the way around.
Yeah, I just got to put up with it, Carolyn. That's how it is.
Oh,
Just here, raise the hat, and again, see?
see the control. I have to do a bit of arm exercise. A bit flabby under there. Who cares?
Look, I mean, I've got to remember, if we're ever in a plane that breaks open, those flaps under your arms will allow you from 30,000 feet
Just because you haven't got
to
them.
land safely.
I need arms, see? Look at that. I don't care. I am what I am.
I agree, Carolyn. Yep, it's a natural born wingsuit.
Oh dear. I have to walk all the way around to make a cuppa.
Are we having a cup?
Well, I want one, but I have to go all the way around.
Last night for that. From this day forward, tomorrow, we won't have our feet in the sand.
My God, tomorrow I can walk on the floor with socks. Has to be with socks for tomorrow. And then after that, I can can walk barefoot.
So did you show Mel and Buttercup the beds we bought?
No, because you haven't given me the pictures.
Why haven't you taken them off? Because I don't give you anything. You take them off my phone.
Yeah, but you send them to me as well. And I've told you before, you can send them to Buttercup as well.
I can't send them to Mel.
No,
Just haven't got
because
Mel's
you don't use...
information.
No.
Yeah, no, she doesn't want to talk to me. She's jealous of Buttercup. Let's just bring it in.
Buttercup, are you there?
Mind you, I'm only second fiddle to JP, so I know my place.
Give me strength. Where's Buttercup gone? Do we have to do a welfare check on Buttercup?
She just said something a minute ago. Sure she did. I think she said cheeky bugger. He's shit. Oh, nice that is, Mel.
Oh, there she is. See, she only talks to me.
Yep. It's true. You don't talk, yeah, that's all right. That's fine. Look, I know where to get a pork chop, Mel. And I know plenty of street corners.
Yep, put it
so
around
I
your
don't
neck.
need you as a friend, okay?
Put the pork chop
Stand
around
out there for days. I won't worry about the flies. Someone will come up, talk to me.
He really
Standing
loves
on the corner
he
with
loves
a pork
his-
chop.
He loves his
Hoping
all.
someone will stop and talk to me. I'll throw a couple of coins on the ground. with a bit of luck, and I'm still waiting on my mate to give me a call back to help me put in the kitchen. Maybe Sunday.
Well, the cupboard.
There won't be a top on it.
I won't
Be, but there'll be cupboards.
Won't be able to use it.
Thank you very much, Carolyn. Very kind of you. Aren. I think she means amen.
No, aren't they? I know. It's just word language. Oh, JP, you're sitting there doing nothing. Go make us a cuppa, mate.
No, you can't do that. No, it's not. He's the king. Kings don't make cup of teas.
No, you're the king.
I ain't no bloody king.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously we'll have a housewarming party, even though we've been in the house for a year. But don't tell anyone. And you are invited, Mel, if you'd like to come with the better half. Oh, piss off. Forget the invitation. I will build defensive turrets and man them 24/7. You're unlikely to get to the drawbridge, let alone close the gate.
I make the cuppas, Mel. I do that.
Actually, I have some sad news to tell you, actually, and it's the reverse of what you would think, but this is a true story. I've been up and down the road between my old town of Geraldton, 300 odd miles away. I don't know how many times. I'm talking many, many, many times. Now, the sad thing is that there were only one dead kangaroo on the way up and one dead kangaroo on the way back. Now, you might say, why is that sad? For the simple reason, normally there'd be hundreds dead on the roads. And my equation is less kangaroos.
Well,
The drought is really
yeah,
biting in
the
our
drought.
state to the extent the population naturally gets decimated.
Oh, Karen, do you mean the story where there was two wallabies that attacked, well, didn't attack, went for a child?
It would have been little male joeys, male roos. and
They weren't roos, they were
No,
wallabies.
wallabies, little greys, yeah.
They were on a oval. A kid and his brother were playing, and then all of a sudden these wallabies, two wallabies, kept going for the kids. Now, I'm not defending anyone or saying anything, but the thing is, there's always two sides to every story. We don't really know if these kids did anything, because it is very rare, if ever, that wallabies actually do
Oh no,
do that.
kangaroos, well, like in those pet parks, kangaroos often grab kids and give them a bit of a hide.
Yeah, that's right. But what I'm saying is, what do kids tend to do? They tend to run up to them and grab them.
This footage didn't show that. It showed the kid playing with a ball. Two kangaroos come up and stood next to him at first,
Yeah,
and
wallabies.
then another one come up and they all jumped all over him, bit
Well,
him,
I'm wondering if it was something to
put
do
their
with the
back
ball.
claw into him. He ended up with stitches. But you're right, Carolyn. We're talking, and I'm being underestimating, I think. In Australia, the amount of animals we've lost, I think we're talking about several generations of humans, 50, 60 years. And I wouldn't be exaggerating. Yep, that's what I think, Buttercup. Or maybe there was a female wallaby on heat.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I mean, I've seen kids in those wildlife parks just run up to these, and these roos have been in these wild park, for years or whatever, and are used to humans. But just sometimes they can turn. I do agree with that, and especially if you approach them the wrong way, or if you just go and jump at them. Hey,
Well, the thing is, it's height. I mean, I've often been in the bush and I'll crouch. Because when I stand up, the roos think, oh yeah, big kangaroo wants a fight, does he? It's true.
Oh, Mel doesn't like talking about the animals.
Oh, the amount of effort that's going into a male of rescue is just staggeringly great, let's be honest. Some of the reports I've seen, there are thousands of people out there helping the wildlife, feed, water. It's been a fantastic response.
John,
That's true. But yeah, so the response has been brilliant in Australia.
Yeah, it has. It's like,
And that's not money that's been put aside to help animals. That's just people going out doing this stuff.
I can't watch some of the shows because I start crying. I mean, I cried at Bambi movie. I'm just like my dad.
Can we talk about your tiles? All right, yeah. What would you like to talk about?
Yeah, that's right, Buttercup. Mel.
Tiles are okay. If you don't like them, just tell me. I'll pull off the 80 square metres off your bathroom,
Can we talk about your bits?
if you like.
Mel, have you had yum cha lately?
Yes, that's true, Jojo. Anything that can be possibly done simply will be complicated beyond belief. Oh, look, just come watch it anyway. Like I say, and I'm being realistic when I say I've driven this road hundreds of times over 40 years. And we were just gobsmacked, weren't we, that we found one big red, he'd been killed, and a smaller red on the way back. And I'm thinking, I have never seen such little roadkill.
Actually, there's a lot
And
coming.
there's a reason. There's less animals.
Well, and the weather too. That drought. There's a lot of the burnt area that is actually growing back pretty quick, JP. Little bits sprouting here and there. It's starting to look a little bit better in all those burnt out areas.
And I'm not saying this to say we're better than anyone else, but it's just unique, Australia. It's a huge island. And over many thousands of years, we have indigenous species that you just don't find anywhere else. And sadly, a lot of them are gone. What'd you say?
I'll have this make a cuppa.
I think if we took things in perspective in our lifetime, things are terrible, what have happened in Australia at this time. But if we took the cycle of, say, 1,000 years, this has probably happened on more than a dozen occasions, if you get my drift. We just happen to be here now and witnessed something that we hope we never see again. But in the expanse of time, it's just a moment. And there's no doubt in my mind animal species do become extinct for one reason or another. But then new animals, in other words, new species develop.
Well, they're actually starting a breeding program for the koalas to get the numbers back up. They're starting that in Queensland, and I presume New South Wales will follow.
I did read that, JP, that guy was called Mad Mike, flat earther. He'd been up, I think, 5 years ago and successfully didn't splat to ground. Unfortunately, this time the parachute ripped off on launch, so he had no chance at all.
Oh, you're kidding. Is that true?
It's very true. Mad Mike, his name was. Big flat earther.
All right, see you, Caroline.
See you,
Man,
Carolyn.
that's pretty sad.
All right.
Hey, Mel.
Tomorrow.
Mel, are you there? Mel.
Just probably putting pins into a
She's probably
doo-doo
cranky
type
with
doll.
you.
What's she cranky with me for?
Akastation. Are you there, Mel? Welfare check on Mel.
I think the long-term answer, Buttercup, is that it doesn't matter whether humans are on this planet. In fact, every scientist agrees that if humans disappeared tomorrow, this Earth would revert back to its true beauty. A natural balance would occur. We are the most unnatural species on this planet. That's what Jojo said. What did Jojo? Elvis, don't flatter yourself, but they're going to be trying to get you into your pants. Well, it's quite obvious you appear to have difficulty getting into them yourselves, yes. He's the only person I know, Jojo, that's lost weight 12 months consecutively, but now weighs 150 pounds heavier. Not sure what scales he's using. Well, maybe he'll be the only one left behind, Jojo. Without doubt, all of you here know the truth, that within hours, not weeks, not months, within hours of leaving the cocoon, the rage will begin. I'm guessing probably 12 hours later, after leaving Cape Cod, as it's become known, because there are always cod pieces there.
What?
And in 12 hours' time, after that, the rage will unfold. The best way, I was thinking about this the other night, the best way to donate to people is to give them great advice about career paths. What do you mean? I just want your money. I know, but I'm going to show you a way to have a never-ending supply. But does that sound good? Oh, that sounds fantastic. See, can you give me $10? No, you weren't listening. I'm going to show you a way that you can create your own wealth for the rest of your life. Well, what do I have to do? Work. Career counselling session over. I think it's all over, JP.
So he's unbanned everyone, huh?
I think it's all over. He's like one of those stadiums that get built in the desert. And people all came at first. And the stadium's still there. And like that famous movie, if you build it, they will come. Well, they came. They saw, and they thought, bugger this. No more. Do you know the sad part about all of this, JP? Is when his demise occurs, and it's certainty to do that, there'll be another one come along. So don't be despondent, JP. Your giggers are insured for decades to come. Oh, and the cuppa.
That's right, leave me alone in the dark. Walk up on.
Do you want me to come with you?
No.
Are you sure? Just do a practice scream as you get to the corner of the old house. Are you right? Yeah, it's one of those crunch times when reality says, when he goes to put the ATM in the card, I'm sorry, you have no money. Giggers, giggers, giggers. Puts it in again, because he won't believe it the first time. I'm sorry, you have no money. Why bother putting in the card again? He'll look at the card, he'll rub it on his shoulder, put it back in again. Last message from the ATM. Hey, stupid, you're broke. Well, I don't wish this upon anyone, but if he broke down for one reason or another, that's it. You can blame people for lots of things. I think the tenuous friendships he has are based on their giving and him receiving. I think they're at the same limit as people donating online. Ever seen a really beautiful woman and thought to yourself you should go say something, but then realise it's a bad idea? She's probably going to freak out when you walk out of her closet. That's true. Stay in the closet. Jojo, you trying to tell us something? Well, I'll scrub that, mate. I'll take that out. I'll edit that bit. We don't want people to think otherwise. Nothing wrong coming out of the closet. So it's all good. Takes all sorts to make the world go round. Jojo was a man who thought he was a woman. No, I'm just making that up. Just kidding, Jojo. You know, I'm only kidding. I've always had no problem with people with their sexuality, as long as they don't pertain to thinking they can play in my backyard. That's the only rule I have. We've got good friends that are lesbians, good friends that are gay men. To me, they're just people. I've never understood the hysteria of, oh my God, did you see those two women holding hands? Yeah, what about it? Yeah, the front yard's the next big project, JP. No doubting. Nice fence. Probably a mixture of limestone columns, carved in your image, of course, JP. White picket fences in between, nice paving. Oh, I'll get your final approval, of course, but that'll be the go. But we need to work and concentrate on if we are going to get a pool, and we're talking about maybe a decent sized plunge pool. I think if the wife had a way, she'd be like, we can do without it. But I know we got lots of grandkids, and they're going to bring their friends over. Oh, you were being metaphoric. Yeah, no. All yards. That's it. I think if we just give everyone, and Australia, and JP will back me up, and if Mel's here, as long as she's not be right back, or whether she's back or not, would back me up. Australians tend to give you a fair go on all levels. They don't care about your sexuality in general. They don't care about how much money you've got. I sat down to dinner with an old friend of mine. I couldn't even count the amount of money they've got. For the rest of my life, if I was counting their wealth, I would never finish. But he's like me. He's just a down-to-earth bloke. And we sat at the same table, been friends for 40 years. And the difference is, we don't care. That's not the important thing in life. Friendships are. Good people are. Not money. Like I said, my grandfather, who was quite wealthy, said, being wealthy is a better form of poverty, tongue-in-cheek. And it's like if someone says, oh, you're going to keep up with the Joneses, I'd say, I don't care. Do I have to? No. I've never been a complier. Things I've done work-wise in my life, people thought I was crazy. They worked out okay. You've got to give things a go. Australians, in general, just give things a go. We have a crack at it, is what we say. Doesn't work out, try something else. There's not a concept of really Australians in general giving up. There are a few, of course, in every country that don't want to work. But in general, we just give it a go. We'll have a crack at it. I think that's an important thing, but then, for me, you can't trade money for friendship. You can trade money for kindness, like if you help someone. There's no problem with that. But it's always with me, particularly now in these times, it's those in need, not in greed. Just because people want something doesn't mean they need it. They just want it. Taught all my kids, I say, you get everything you need first. Get everything you need. And then when the time comes that you want something, just make sure you got the pennies to get it. You can trade money for beer. Well, I've been pushing the boss, Buttercup. There's something special about to happen soon. And I will send you a picture of the bed we bought for you. You can't take it with you when you go. There's not a handle on it. It's a phenomenon I've been through, Jojo. People, unfortunately, dying. I met a friend who I'd known for 40-odd, nearly 50 years. And he told me about some of the family members that have passed. We can't do anything about that. We're like a little time machine. We're all in our own time machine. And then we catch up with people we haven't seen for a long time and get told things that happened. It's like, wow. But that's their time machine.
Yeah, the table's a bit crooked. Our cuppas are going to slide off.
Here we go. Rearrangement. We'd like to move to the left a bit, dear. A bit to the right. Is that okay? Now it's as wonky as hell the other way. How about I put it over here? Oh, that's wonky too.
Oh, lift it up and I'll move
There we go. No, it's perfect now. Oh, absolutely perfect. Or as we say in Australia, that'll do. Yeah, I lived in the UK, Buttercup, and I can tell you, I'd rather be doing hard times here than there. We don't think about not being here ourselves. We're our own TV protection. We see everything and it's recorded. But when friends pass and family pass, it's like, nah, you didn't want that to happen. But it did. You don't have control. So we've moved the table to get nice and stable, and now you've got your cuppa on your lap.
Because I'm not as tall as you, and I'm just too far away.
Pulling the damn thing back. Legs over the edge. And there we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's story. I think the hardest thing, Buttercup, is that you already have a world. And to go to a new world, whatever you want to call it, you should always dip your line in the water, Buttercup. And you should always dip your feet in the water. But you don't throw your rod in the water and you don't jump in straight away. So just have a little taster. That'll be the go. Of course, the perfect solution is to have two mansions, one in the UK and one here.
Yeah.
Live for 6 months in a very mild winter and fly back for your very mild summer. Perfect solution. All you need to do now is go and buy one of them big lottery tickets and your dreams can come true. We've done that on several occasions. We've committed, gone to a place and lived, and we give it 12 months, don't we? We say
Well, you've
12
got
months.
to give a place 12 months.
And some of there's pros and cons. I love a little town called Augusta, right down the south of our coast. But it was good for me, but it wasn't good for the wife.
No.
And that's not the deal. It's got to be good for both of us. So reluctantly, we moved. Actually, come up the coast a bit further, went to a place called Bustleton. Beautiful little town, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Again, not enough shops for the wife.
Oh, it wasn't just that. Still no one came to visit.
Oh, they did. Lovely old cottage, and I tell you what, every night we watched the possums play. That was good.
No, it was nice, but
Like I say, there's pros and there's cons.
at the end of the day, at that stage, that was just too far away. I couldn't get to an airport quick enough that if I had to go, and then Dad was alive at that stage, to go to them.
Yeah. But it's like my friend said, and even you said it on the way back, would we ever live back in our old town? There's lots of pros, trust me. There's magnificent fishing. The weather is beautiful. Very quiet, even though a fairly big town now of 60 odd thousand. But most of our kids and grandkids are down here. So it won't happen.
We've only got one up there. The other four
Yeah.
are here.
Oh, we've got 3 grandkids up there.
Yeah, but I mean 3 of the grandkids, 1 kid, yeah. But maybe 5, 6 years ago, but now going back to visit, no, wouldn't go back there to live.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have a theory. We're probably 10 minutes away from the beach. We're probably 5 minutes away from the river. We could walk to both if we wanted to. But it's like, come the great flood and the climate change, we'll actually have beach resort here. We've got the sand already. We're halfway there. Just need a few dolphins going past. Work out perfect.
From here we
The
can
new
go.
Venice.
From here we can go anywhere. This is a base. Come home, rest, comfortable after holidays or whatever. But where we're situated, we can go anywhere from here. Like for holidays or short trips or whatever.
The US trip is not a write-off yet, but it's coming close.
Yes, that was...
Because we don't want to go there in the winter. We're unsure about what's happening in the world. More likely, we might spend 2 or 3 weeks in New Zealand and do a discovery tour. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, even that's still waiting to see. And that was my choice. That was my choice. The first reasoning was I'm getting on a plane to fly these thousands of kilometres, or more than one plane, 2, 3 planes. I don't know where the people around me have been to come from.
Don't know where the plane's been.
That's right. I mean, I know you shouldn't stop living, but I said no.
There's no harm in being cautious.
Now it's got to the stage, because I also said it's not so much the country we're going to, but it was the getting there, the travelling, the plane.
We only really, we've got to be brutal here. The main reason we travel is to see people and the architecture and history. I'm all into that, and so is the missus.
And because this coronavirus has spread so much now in so many countries, that sort of put me off a little bit to go anywhere right now as well. So,
like I say, I don't think this is a one-off. I think it's going to be a continuum.
yeah,
It's not as if we're not going.
I'm just glad we're
just
the...
not going. The window to book, what we're looking at now. Oh, Jacob, mate.
Oh, shut
yeah,
up,
look,
Jake.
we're looking at 4 or 5 window months.
Well, it doesn't matter. We'd like to be...
Someone boot JP. Take his
Yeah.
wrench. Kick him out of here. He's obviously got...
He's got it, yeah. It's spreading out. It's, I mean, we like to plan, book and whatever. But sometimes doing something at the spur of the moment can be just as fun. If we end up going still in October,
But just about...
I bet you we'll get good flights
Oh, definitely.
because of no one's flying.
But, I mean, there will be something that will happen in the future. Because we both love it, and JP and his missus does too, we'll probably catch up with JP in Thailand before he comes here. But the missus doesn't like motorbikes, JP. I'd hop on it straight away. But she doesn't want to go on a bike.
You're not that keen either.
You want to fire Alex and pay the difference? Yeah, I would take the money too, mate. I mean, I'm not your advisor, but if I was imminently going to go to the UK, I'd be a little bit concerned.
So hang on, what was that? I'm still going to the UK. Our flights with Virgin were canned. They refunded us. They wanted us to fly via Lux and pay the difference. Why was that, JP? So was this year you were going to the UK? Was it this year, JP?
Yeah, he was going to. He said he was. I'll give you a little sneaky tip next time you go on something like Sky Scanner or Webjet, whichever one you like, JP. Do 2 flights. Fly from the East Coast to Singapore, and then from Singapore to your destination. And I can tell you, you'll save thousands. Yep, Hong Kong, Air China. Buttercup's made a nice little wee bed at the end of her bed that you can sit in. Your wife will have to be in the shade
But
shack,
see,
of course.
Yeah, JP booked before all this corona stuff, didn't you? Because we've got about 5 friends that had things booked and paid. A couple had paid just the deposit, couple had paid the full thing. None of them are going. And I don't know how if anyone lost any money, but
What I mean, JP, is just organise your return flight from Singapore for the extended stay. Let's say you're going for a month. So you go Singapore the 1st of October. I'm just giving you an example. Singapore
right.
return 31st of October. On the 2nd of October, you fly to the UK. And then on the 30th, you fly back to Singapore. Now, by breaking up it like that, it's cheaper. You might have to spend half a day in Singapore. That's okay. We could even have a layover, like spend 2 or 3 days. But the difference I've looked at is, I'll give you an idea. If you want to fly from Singapore to JFK, for example, at the moment, you could get a return flight, economy, return flight, $1,000. Now, if you took a flight from Sydney, say, if that's where you're heading for the major airport to go to JFK, you'd still connect in Singapore, but the price is double. Have a look at it. Ah, September, eh? That's the time the Vikings would always attack. High summer. So they could take the crops. That's what he's doing, Buttercup. He's going to come and pillage, I won't use the other word, the UK, take all their crops, their women. You know what I mean. He's got a Viking spirit, has JP.
yeah, that is cheap. For all of yous, all 5 of yous, JP.
No, I don't think so. That would be each. What do you think in cargo? Just zip up
He
the
might have
bag
got
as
a
you
good
go in.
bargain.
Yeah, put me in the cargo. And even from Singapore to JFK and back, I think it's 3,000 business class.
I'm not good with maths, JP. Oh, that's a good price.
Yep, we're just being realistic at the moment, and our options would be, like if it was a couple of months away, Buttercup, and it's still turmoil, we'd just go to New Zealand for that time of the year. Probably the end of winter in New Zealand.
Yeah, the US trip is still there. It's just when we go now.
Yeah, it's not as if we're not going.
And that, like I said, that was my choice. I didn't want anything booked yet. But you booked quite a while ago, didn't you, JP?
Yeah, no, I'm not keen on flying Philippine or Cathay. I don't mind Etihad, or what's the other one? Emirates,
Emirates, yeah.
Singapore Airlines, Qantas. He's going to take a speaker's box with him and stand on the corner in the UK and yell out to the Poms. Yeah, most of them are pretty good. The price is just, look, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind fleets are being, put into shelving or rotating them. There's a lot less flights happening here. And we don't have a super city in Perth, but there's a lot less. See, I would do a 4 or 5 hour flight, economy at a push, premium economy. I'd do that, but the long haul, 12, 14 hours, I'm going to go business class.
And you've got to face it, just from here to Sydney, it's about your limit in economy.
That's 4 hours, yeah. You fly Elvis Ground Lines, Shawarma Airlines, where every seat's been turned into a jungle room. Yes, you know what I mean.
Oh, where's Mel gone? Did Mel actually say be right back before? Mel, are
I'm
you
not
listening?
Sure. Is that caterpillar climbing up the wall again?
No, it's a moth.
It's a moth, is it?
Mm.
So it turned from a caterpillar into a moth overnight?
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's a moth.
checking out New Zealand just by chance, and you can get like a 12-day, 14-day, 16-day rail pass or all transport pass, ferries, buses, whatever. About $600. I thought it was pretty good. $6K, that's pretty cheap.
Oh, okay, 2 weeks after you. Well, like we've said to you before, just watch out for those what's-the-names where you can bid for business class, JP, for yourselves if you're going first.
First class, yeah. You can sell your house if you're right.
I'm a bit go.
Actually, I'll be honest with you, business class is perfect. I've seen first class suites. Yeah, they got a bit more bling. The first class is not much different than business class, to be honest with you.
Yeah, just watch out for those, JP.
What's that?
When you can bid for upgrade business class.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, to give you an idea, it's over $2,000 for us to fly business class from Perth to Sydney. But we book economy, and every time we put a bid of $300, so it costs $600
for business.
For business class. Never fails, but you got to pick your days. Tuesday, it's a good day to do it.
Well, I don't know. Days might have changed, but just keep an eye out when it gets. You just keep an eye on it, JP. Sometimes I'll actually send you an email. They'll actually ask if you want to bid.
It seems to go. JP speaking from experience.
The what one?
3-bedroom first class suite.
My God.
See, Qantas first class, it's changing. They're actually going to have their own little rooms eventually. But if you fly Qantas now, you're probably going to get a really big business class seat with a swiveling chair and a few other fancy doodads. Other than that, it's not much different than business class. Yeah, Thai's usually got some good prices too. And the beauty about Thai Airlines, they fly direct. You don't do this bloody Kuala Lumpur or Singapore hop, skip and a jump.
Kuala Lumpur airport is a nightmare.
You've got to walk about 3 kilometres at Kuala Lumpur.
And they're always doing work there. That's the problem. Always. Oh, you know who we haven't seen for 2 days since you've been on? Old Gringo.
Oh, right. Maybe he's working. $5,000 to Australia. Is that premium economy? Is that what you're saying? Actually, because Buttercup's not 6 foot tall, if you check the plane seating and get one of them exit seats, that's the same length as business class, basically.
Yeah, it's just your seat doesn't lay down.
Yeah.
But at least you can stretch your legs out.
I mean, I'll be honest, if I was shorter, I'd just be flying economy. But it's not good for me. Knees up near my chin. And the airline host, are you comfortable? I said, yeah, like I've been squashed between 2 planks. Yeah. That's too much money.
Wow, that's a lot.
I think I'm trying to work out what we paid to go to the UK in flights. I think it was 7 each, $7,000 each, but it was good. See, I'm a bit like JP. If I could fly economy and pay $1,000 instead of paying $7,000, means I get $6,000 in spending money. That's how we think. But I'm just too bloody tall. Oh, I don't see any of the writing now. Oh, there we are.
say, what's going on? Oh, no, I want that one.
Oh, what's going to want that flight? I know the pilot is another good... Well, you know the pilots personally. But you get some bargains with flights if you just keep your eye out. I remember one day saying to you, oh, they've got bloody flights to the UK for $400 return. And you said, that's not right. It was there. And within an hour it had gone. But people
Oh, yeah.
booked on it and the airline honoured it.
Yeah, sometimes, very rare, well, mistakes happen. But the other thing, sometimes they do weird
Even
things.
you're not coming on my place with a bobcat, JP, all right? Let's just get it straight.
Like when my parents went to Indonesia with my uncle from Germany. He was in Indonesia with everyone, and then he got on, I don't know what website, at the correct time and paid for everybody to fly from Indonesia to UK, and it cost him $1 for each person.
Do you remember when
And
I surprised you and your sister?
Yeah.
It was for a weekend in Coffs Harbour.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I organised the train trip. And the train trip
We
was
did it
like
by train.
$80.
It was really nice.
Really nice. But I also got return flights from Coffs Harbour to Sydney for $1 each.
Yep. It was just sometimes they do it. I mean, I think he paid $1 each. There was, how many was there? Matiniante, Gat Lizzie, Stepper boyfriend, mum, dad. I don't know. There was about 10 of them. And he got them for $1 each. And I think it was, then of course you've got, I don't know, what is it, taxes or some crap or something. At the end of the day, probably cost them $12 to $15 each with their baggage to fly from Indonesia to the UK. How far is that?
Indonesia to the UK would be 16 hours. Indonesia's straight up above us, remember?
Yeah. Hang on, I've got to rethink now. Or was it from Germany to UK then? Or UK to Germany? How far's that?
That's an hour and a half.
No, it was the other way. It was from Indonesia.
It's about an hour and a half from Frankfurt to London. Well, we flew it.
Oh, hang on, I have to...
70, 80 minutes tops.
I might have
Less,
to
I think.
retract what I said. Maybe it was from Germany to UK.
But if you want to hop around Europe by plane, cheap as $50 flights, $40 flights. But you got to carry light. You know, if you start putting 20 kilo luggage on, the bags cost more than the flight. Travel light. It's actually cheaper just to throw your clothing away and buy a new t-shirt when you land.
Wow, that would have been a good deal, JP.
But the one thing we don't see in Australia very much, and I'm sure they come, we just don't see them. We don't see an American tourists. It's like a rarity, isn't it?
They mainly go to Sydney, that's why. Sydney and Brisbane for some reason. What is a Buttercup? What's a blue passport?
That's the change from I think it's a red Euro pass at the moment, back to being a British passport. And the old British passport was blue with gold embossing.
Yes, airlines have made mistakes over the years and they've had to honour when people booked.
I have known of people from the UK coming to Australia because their pound is worth a lot more than $1, that their pension goes an extraordinary long way here. Good day, mate. It's g'day. Good day, mate. Go home. And they think we make it up, but we don't. Aussies say g'day all the time. There you go. Yeah, good. You? Yeah, good. G'day. You know why we don't say aloha? Because g'day's quicker. That's the only reason. Think about it. Yeah, they have one for one. Other words, in Australia, same if I wanted to retire in the UK, we would be able to go to the UK and receive a Australian pension, which would allow me to sleep on the streets of London.
Shut up.
But an English pension, converted to Australian dollars, they live quite comfortably here, and you would get the same healthcare as I would if I went to the UK. It wouldn't change. They have a one-for-one policy. It's all good.
Yeah, say good day to your lurkers. JP said,
We don't
shout
have
out
lurkers.
to the lurkers. Yes, we do.
No. These
Yes.
people work for like the New York Post,
Oh, they're recording everything, aren't they?
Reader's Digest.
That means they
These
would have
people
recorded my steak
just
if
came in for that reason.
if I got it wrong. Like these dollar flights were from, I can't remember exactly now what country, but you know, that'll be held against me, eh?
Will it bother you? Not really. Yeah, I know that they have, like while we're in the UK, even though we had travel insurance, I didn't need it.
No, but I would still take
Yeah,
it. No
because
matter where
I'm
we
covered.
go. We
But
take travel.
always get travel insurance.
We take travel insurance for our health and our baggage. Because you know how hard it is to replace 1960 clothes for seats? You just can't get that fashion anymore.
Some of us have
So I
got
have
it.
to take baggage insurance.
Hang on, it's the Hales Angels. What do you guys want? Oh, I'll beat you up, mate. Come on in, try it.
Do you want me to turn the camera around?
Don't come back. All right, mate.
Oh, God.
Oh, mate, I tell you, those 12 bikies are to lay it on the ground for their own good. Not one of them was a fireman. No. Oh, look, there's 600 people in the room.
You'll be surprised, JP, with your travel insurance. So what you'll be careful of when you book online your flights, because we actually, I don't know if Virgin have changed, but Virgin have a thing when you're going through online booking, and it automatically says you're going to take their insurance. And then we got the whatever, and then Seeds noticed, said, hang on a sec, what's this insurance here? Where the hell was this on the pieces of paper? And I didn't even know I had to untick the box. You automatically have it ticked. That's not right. You're not giving us a choice.
And never go to a travel agent.
No,
Ever.
No. So, I know travel agents.
No.
Some people need them. They can't do online, so they have to go to a travel agent. But because we like to do our own insurance through you go to the post office, JP, because that's better.
$6 a day. It's all good.
Yeah, they all had trainer wheels on.
Yeah, it was only 12, but don't tell anyone, I'll beat them up, all right? We'll get you, mister. Yeah, sure you will.
I just believe in travel insurance.
It's all good. Things will unfold the way they have to unfold, and we'll do what we have to do.
And
yeah, a lot of places do that. JP, you'll say, I've got a quote from 2 other places. Chuck them down, they go, we can beat that. Because they want your money.
yeah, I'm not, well, I don't like our local one. There could be Flight Centre.
No, I don't like anything like that. I just go online and do my own stuff. Always have.
Yeah, so do the kids. But when Mum took us to Germany, we did it all through Flight Centre, but they were really, really helpful.
And really, really expensive.
No,
It's
actually,
about 25% more.
they got a bit of a deal. Yeah, but again, that's their business. That's their commission. So, you know. What Fly 360 just went on. I don't know what that one is. What's that, JP?
It's a booking agent.
Yeah, I've never heard it.
Like when you go on Skyscanner, you get options to who you want to book through.
Oh,
That'll be one of them.
oh, that's not good. And of course, I will never fly Jetstar ever again.
Well, that's when they're flying. It was on strike.
Yeah.
Yep, Aunt Betty, yep. Most of the time you'll go down the list and the airline itself is usually pretty much the same price. So I tend to do that. It's just a few extra dollars, doesn't bother me.
Oh, the bikies are coming back.
Yeah, when you get like a name like Smith Brothers, book with us, we're $20 cheaper. You think, I'll go with Singapore. It's all right. You must have a few points up, JP. I don't know whether you use them or you save them for your domestic travel, but I think we can fly nearly halfway around the world with ours.
Oh, it's getting a bit windy here.
I don't know what I got. Might be close to 30,000 points. The thing about these points, JP, they're sneaky buggers. You can only book economy. So I'd save them for domestic travel.
I know you can.
I believe people grow it in bushes out there.
You can. What were you just saying?
Someone's saying Geelong grows the best weed. They do actually.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm talking about the. Damn, I've got 3-4 things in my head now, and I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, your points. You can use them towards anything, but it's got to be.
You can't change, like, upgrade though, can you?
I think you can, but it's got to be on certain days and times that you can book. So you can use
Which
it.
is probably better just use it domestically. Apply to
Well,
Sydney
even that, you have to.
Yeah, I mean, flying's good because you close your eyes and you're there. That's the bonus of flying. But probably the places we'll go back to are probably in Europe, most of the places.
Yeah, hey JP. I will leave it in your hands, good people. Well, it's obvious somebody who's watched the channel knows full well where we've been. See,
Yeah,
they
good.
record everything. They're following us. Did you check the car if there was a camera put on there?
Nah, can't be bothered. I've had that many people try and rile me over the years. They get pissed off eventually because they actually figure out that I don't care.
Yeah.
Play your little games, and I just think, oh well, keeps them entertained. They could be on the street, like robbing people or breaking into cars. Just a few hours listening to me, that's not going to hurt them.
No, that's right.
It's like therapy, really. And I don't even charge. You can't see any like dollar sign down here, can you? It's all free. Where can you get that?
Free therapy for us or them. All right, see you, JP.
Have a good one, mate. And good news today. Good on you.
Yep. Is that a bug on you?
No, it's that on the wall.
Oh. I was going to try and wipe it off your screen. Yeah, free life lessons. Free humour.
It's one of those weird things when you move. And like I say, we've always done the process of we both grow up, we'll go there for a minimum of 12 months. So we get the seasons and we get to know the people.
That's what I believe you got to do.
But it doesn't hurt to change your location. A, if you can afford to do it, of course, and B, if you're willing to do it. Because lots of people just don't leave their area.
and if you really want to. But, I mean, that's all right. If you don't want to leave your area, then travel. And then you've got your place to go back to.
It's like we'd love to live, say, 6 months in Ireland and Scotland. That'd be great. But I'll be honest with you, we miss the grandkids and the kids while we're away. Yeah, you're welcome to have a go anytime you like, mate. Anytime you like. But yeah, no, that's the thing about what you'd like to do and where you'd like to be. But we're pretty family orientated, so that's why we're here. It's not a bad spot anyway, really, when you think about it. Sunshine. Yeah, I would actually.
Yeah, I think I'd miss it more.
I'll show you in the middle of winter, Buttercup. We get 11-hour sunlight in the middle of winter, up to about 14 during summer. So we're good for sun.
Yeah, I would miss.
In fact, dark days, we actually think, oh, I can't wait for this to go, can we? It's not light till 8 o'clock in the morning, it's dark by 4:30 or whatever.
Occasionally it's nice to have days like that, don't get me wrong. I mean, I cope better.
It's about 6:30 still is the latest, earliest, I think.
I cope better with sun, but sometimes it's nice to have a cold, rainy day and you just sit rugged up, watch a movie or something.
I think someone stole your Harley.
Yeah, they stole your Harley.
Let her rip, boys. You'll hear that, and then you'll hear...
Yeah, you'll hear the coppers in a minute.
I didn't do it, officer. I was just checking the carby out.
Well, that's right. You just got to take your time.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about younger people, like if we had made a decision to move to another country, without doubt we wouldn't see the kids that often, but they would still come.
Maybe once.
I know, they'd come and then we'd come back and all that. We'd do all the transit, but I don't think I've found a better place to live than Australia. And that's parochial, I know, but it's true. We don't get snowed in. Oh boy, clear, no clouds, no thunderstorm.
Oh, we had one rumble of thunder today.
When we were coming back from Gerald, we got home and I checked the radar, and where we'd been, there were storms everywhere, hail. We just had blue sky.
It probably was good we weren't driving in that. Wouldn't have been that great driving in hail, but...
There's a couple of times a year it gets a bit dicey with coming up shortly. Spring storms can bring tornadoes here. People don't think Australia is associated with tornadoes, but we get them. Mainly in certain areas, isn't it? Like you'll drive through the same old towns and they've had tornadoes go through them.
So what was on the menu today, Buttercup?
Yeah, it's the old story about the spice of life, Buttercup. Like, when you're in a different environment, the climate's different for you. The food's slightly different for you. The language is different, even though if you came to Australia, you understand us. But you just got to soak it up, enjoy the experience, and then that's a yardstick for yourself.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Yeah. Well, when we drove through Wales, it's beautiful. It really is. It's very green, but it is beautiful. And those sheep wearing lipstick, I'm so surprised there's not more New Zealanders live there. You know, New Zealand is infatuated with his sheep when he buys a eyeshadow. She's already got the lippy. Sounds good. Vegetable soup. Actually, we had some chicken. I'm going to turn the rest of the chicken into chicken soup. Because we ate too much for the last 3 or 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be potatoes, carrots, onions, bit of garlic, chicken stock, remains of chicken. Yum.
Yes.
But we're going to toodle off shortly. And as Mel would say tomorrow, it's excitement. Because we can walk freely through our extension anytime we like. I don't know.
She does that. She's pretty busy. She's
If
probably listening.
If Mel ever stayed here, it'd be like,
She'd be a bit worse than me.
Where's Mel? We'll find her behind the shed. What are you doing? Nothing.
She'd be worse than
And
me.
we'll lose her again and she'll be out the front bush. What are you doing there?
I mean, how many times do I get up and down usually? Probably the longest I sit is when I'm sitting here talking with yous.
Danny? Oh, she might be
Oh,
working.
no, yeah, but it depends what she's working, Buttercup. And then certain weeks, I've noticed, certain days or weeks of the month, it's like a lull.
Oh, it might be a shift change or something like that. Yeah. That happens when you work.
Maybe she's gone somewhere. I think she popped in quickly yesterday. Didn't she?
That or message, yes, I can't remember.
Yeah, but... Because what's it for us? Monday.
Yep.
Which is
The day
Sunday for a lot of people. Sunday
No, it'll be Monday everywhere now.
morning.
Yep, well, Buttercup, it's heading to lunchtime. In the US, it'll be early morning, 7, 8 o'clock, depends where you are, maybe 3 or 4 o'clock, if you're on the West Coast. But the economy is going to take a hell of a beating. It's not good anyway. Take away the coronavirus, it's still not good. With the restriction of trade and travel and everything that's tied into that. Yes, you're going to see the stock markets do a little crunch. You see gold go up a little bit, I'm sure, as it always does. But I think the stock markets are going to frighten a few people in this next week, Buttercup. Keep your eye on them. I think you're going to see some dramatic change.
In what?
I'm going to look at bathroom stuff tomorrow. Oh, right.
Bathroom stuff. So,
What's that?
what do you mean bathroom
Mirrors
stuff?
or cabinets, things like that? Is that what you mean?
Oh, okay. You're going to update your whole bathroom?
Just be careful.
Or just
Don't
your
let
toilet?
people rip you off. The buggers will dig deep into your wallet otherwise.
Well, you've got to do before and afters, Buttercup. Before, after photos. So, is your toilet separate or in your bathroom?
No, it'll be in the bathroom, I think. Or outside in the bushes. It'll be really old Wells cottage with a thunderbuster out the back. Toilet, sink, flooring, the whole shebang. Ooh, big money, Buttercup. Just get a tin of paint. Trust me. 20 quid, all done. New taps, 40 quid. All done.
Don't tell her that.
I'm only kidding. Bathrooms are generally the most expensive to renovate other than kitchens. Just a little cloakroom. I tell you what
Okay.
does change a house is your colours. I walked into a place years ago and his missus was there and he was at the back on the barbie and I said, well, what the hell have you done to the place? You've changed everything. She said, no, we just painted and put new curtains and carpet and tiles. But it really didn't even look like the house I remember. That's because colours change the aspect of a home.
Yeah, but that's a big change doing paint, tiles and curtains.
when is she likely to leave the roost? Same story, off to uni?
She's not a tidy person.
Her daughter.
Yeah, that's what she just wrote. Well, I hope she's not watching this, Buttercup.
Yeah,
Oh, she has the main
have to have
bedroom
everything.
on. Okay.
I know a bloke that lived in Thailand, and he ended up staying there most of the year. He'd go back, I don't know, twice a year to the UK. But he rented his house out, and he earned enough money off the rental alone, including all the costs of a real estate and all that, that paid for his time in Thailand. And then he had the pension on top of that. We sometimes forget that our home is quite a large asset. I mean, rooms around this area, you can rent a room for about $250 a week, which is staggering when you think about it. There's some places that are purpose-built with 6 bedrooms, aren't they? And they just rent them out to uni students.
Yes. Or people have added on to their house and then done that. Like that one we stayed in for a while. I could do so much with that house. Make it nice.
What it is, he made sure that he actually had a 6-month lease with a 6-month option. So that person would definitely get 12 months. But then it flowed on after that, just every 6 months. So when he changed his mind and he'd like to go back home, the house is still his. Yeah, you know, your kids are going to worry. It's a bit of a role reversal. Children worrying about their parent. But they would appreciate that they want to do things in life. But they always want you to be there. Do you know what I mean? It's the catch-22. You've always got to be here, Mum, but we're going to go to Mallorca, and we're going to go to Spain, and we're going to go to Paris. But you stay here. So when we come home, there's a cup of tea and scones for us.
Yeah, I said to Buttercup, she needs to get her son on here one time so he can talk to us.
Our daughter did the same thing, didn't she? And she was like,
yes.
When are you coming home?
Yeah.
And she's like, another 2 weeks? Really? It was like a big inconvenience for her, because we generally have her son every morning.
I wasn't
prior
just
to school.
that, she missed
But
me.
they just missed us.
I mean, we'd been over in Sydney for 6 months, came back, and then how long were we back for? And then we did the big trip.
I'm trying to think, we got December.
Yeah, and then we went in the April.
Yeah, so about 3 months we were back, and it was like, well,
And then we went again.
You've been gone for a year.
Yeah.
And even then, she came over and saw us. You're always going to be the backstop, Buttercup. You know it, and I know it. Kids get in trouble, you'll be there. But each one of us in our families need to do things for ourselves sometimes. And you might say, oh, I'm being selfish. Not really. Because I tell you what happened. Let's say you do a few trips, and there's a smile on your dial every time you get home. Well, that's good for you. And if it's good for you, it's going to be good for them. I think the words that I would use is that you're not coming back, but you are going to go on adventures and involve them in it. You know, get them in the process of where you're going, and who you're staying, what are you going to buy. When you come back, you're going to give me something. We get back and the kids all gather around the suitcases. They go, do you want to help you unpack? Oh, who's this for? They do it all the time. They don't help us pack,
No.
but unpacking is not a problem. It's one of those extraordinary things that I'm sure, let's say you come to Australia and you stay a month or whatever you do. When you get back, they are honestly going to appreciate you more. They can still phone you when you're overseas. They can still talk to you, Skype, like you're there. But when you get back, it's like the old saying, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. So there'll be
Yeah.
maybe a higher appreciation of what you are in their lives.
Oh,
Knickknacks and paddywhacks,
just
basically.
things that I knew that they would like strange things, probably to some people. All the girls loved all the different key rings I brought back from England because they were such nice, different novelty key rings. And I bought a couple of, what you have next to your stove to hold your wooden spoons, those big spoons to hold your cooking, when you're cooking. Well, I had, I can't remember what happened to one. Oh no, I gave one to the release in Germany.
Yeah.
Did I? I can't remember. Anyway, I had this spoon sitting there, the wooden spoon rest, and Em says, "Oh, who's that for, Mum?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know yet." And she said, "If you don't know, can I have it?" Because she says, "I need something to rest my spoons on, especially when the hubby cooks." So, and it had I think the Big Ben and all the icons of UK on it. And I just sort of, not your usual trinkets. And it was only little stuff because I did say to everyone, this holiday's for us. I don't want to fill my suitcase up with a heap of trinkets that somebody else isn't going to like. So I knew what the kids like.
She'll go around the stores and she'll go, yeah, Jess will like this.
Yeah.
Or Emma will like that.
And things like...
So it's specifically purchased. If it's a bit more expensive for one than the other, it's not meant to be. It's just items.
And going on the ferry across to Ireland, they've got a little shops. And I found little carry bags that you put in your handbag for, like, if you need a grocery shopping bag. And when it's closed up, zips up, it's really cute, and not very big, and it actually had their name on it. I wish the name was actually on the front of the bag, but the name was on the bag after you closed it up, and then that was the bottom of the bag when you opened it. And it had their names on it, and they really liked that.
Move along, police are getting.
Oh, what else? I can't remember what else. Can't remember what else I bought them back, but things that I knew that they would like.
It was, when we got off at Heathrow, we just went round the back and actually found a spot where all the workers were having a drink and a ciggy. And I just happened to be able to look over and see where I used to live, because our place was quite close to Heathrow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I never do, Buttercup? I never buy anything for myself. I don't know why, I just don't do it.
Yeah, it was just this spoon thing, but the rest I'd picked out for each of them. Different little things.
Well, we might wander off inside.
Yes.
Relax for an hour or so.
I'm going to bed early tonight.
Hello, Steve. How are you?
Hey, Steve.
Good time to say hello, because we're just about to say goodbye. Not bye.
Have you been one of the
Not just it's not you, Steve. It's us, all right? It's not you.
Yeah, it's not you, Steve. It's us. Have you been one of the locusts, Steve? Oh.
Yeah, so I'll be doing one of the outside of the windows tomorrow. Get that done.
Yes, I won't be around when you do that.
It's like, because the wife will always say to me, what do you want? And I go, I don't know, buy me a pair of shorts. Actually, in this last month, I think I've got 6 T-shirts. Yeah, thank you. And I will send you a certain picture tonight involving a bed. So I'll send that to you, because apparently I can. But Steve, sorry mate, we're just about to go good night, but thanks for popping in and saying good day. And to all of you, we will say good night.
Yes.
Do you want to do your routine? See you guys. Have a great day if you're just starting it. If you're going to bed like us, sleep well.
Yes.